Balls, you think cushion coverage is your ally. You merely are doing some dumb shit. We are bored of it, tired of it. We haven't seen any effect of the cushion coverage since 2021, and even back then it was stupid. The cushion coverage betrays you because it is ineffective.
That's right. As said for many Bucs fans that I know that I can speak for that believe it, because that video was meant for you, Bowles, because now after this draft and with the schedule, there's no excuses. No excuses. Just like there's no excuse that you do not subscribe to Bucs Report the Aftermath on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. Come on, y'all. You ain't got nothing else to listen to. I know y'all everybody don't want to listen to the new Drake album all the way on a road trip. So if you want to learn some football, you need to listen to us. Welcome again to Bucs Report the Aftermath, where we are going to break down this schedule. Are we hyped? Absolutely. But we're not silly ass delusional fans. We have scenarios. We're going to talk about our worst case. We're going to talk about the actual, most likely the total outcome. And then if we have time, we'll break down some like miracle moments for this team. And then I am going to be calling out a lot of people from this silly ass NFC South fan base. It's going to be some Panther fans, Saints fans, Falcon fans. I really haven't had much to deal with, but for you Saints and Falcon fans, just so you know, I'm calling you out on some, because y'all on some dumb shit right now, and I don't care. Challenge me and let's have some football discussion. Now, no further ado, let's bring up our defensive-minded championship headwind coach and Slick. What's going on there, buddy? How you doing, my brother? Come on up here.
Hey, man.
What's up?
How's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. You know, the list is out. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm ready to get to work. That's why I had the Bane video out there, because it's time to get to work. And with this schedule, I'm very pleased. It's a solid schedule. It's not top heavy, not bottom heavy. It's just right. It's something that if we do everything right, we can have a very successful season. But how about you? What is your feelings on this?
There's a lot of games where it could go either way. I do think we'll split with the Falcons. No, sorry, the Panthers. Falcons, I don't know what they are. I generally don't know what they are. That's the biggest. That's why they're a conundrum. They're a conundrum because I don't know what they are. I don't know what their identity is because they got a new head coach, and I don't really think they know what they are yet. I think that they're still emerging. Whereas I think Carolina knows what they are. They just don't maybe have all the talent, all the pieces, but they know what their identity is. The Saints, I think their defense has an identity. I think their offense hasn't got a clue.
See, I actually thought the opposite. I think their offense has something, but the defense Slick lacks leadership. Demario Davis is gone. Cam Jordan, he wasn't worth shit, but he's gone. So at this point,
is he gone? Is he actually?
Yeah, he didn't get re-signed. Yeah, and again, their best player was Demario. With Demario being gone, Slick, that means there's no who's going to step up and be the leader.
The talent's gone, but I'm saying like the identity of the team is still there of the core of what it is. But I get where you're going with it.
Yeah, they don't have
it's harder to keep the
right when you don't have a guy like that really exposes their linebacking core, because there's no one in the linebacking core that is going to be able to. Now, if Zach Robinson, and I'll get into his scheme later, but his schemes, like if he does it the right way, it could be a major detriment against the Saints, because they only have one guy who is a consistent pass rusher, and that's Chase Young. But again, Slick, we're not worried about Chase Young. He's not Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. He's barely above Micah Parsons, if that. I don't even think Micah is better than him. So at this point, Saints fans
only hit double-digit sacks once in his career, and that was last year. I won't credit to him there, but at the same time, like when you've gone 7.5 sacks in your rookie year, 1.5 sacks in the following year, 0 sacks the following year after that, 5 sacks the year after that, 2.5 sacks after that, 5-8. He's no better. You could argue that Yaya Diaby and him are pretty much not far off from each other.
Hey, you know what? You can say that, and the only difference is one is louder than the other. So I'm with you on that, Slick. But this is where, for the Saints community out here, you're fucking delusional. And here's why you're delusional. So all of a sudden, Slick, here's the funny thing. After 8 games, Tyler Shaw is supposedly the future. Like, we haven't seen this shit before. 8 games, Slick. So
they got to do that. They've got to roll out the welcome wagon. They got to make all the Saints fans believe that this is the way. You know, that you've got as the Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out. This is the way. You've got to show that you've got a roadmap. Because if you turn around and go into a press conference, we don't know who the fuck our quarterback is. You lose fans. You lose interest. You may lose the team. So I think they got to put all their chips in the ship. They know that ship might not come to harbor. And they got to go back into the drawing board. They never spent any big picks on him, so there's no real expectation of this kid to be special. They may in their building and have some expectation for him, but it's not the first round pick expectation. It's not
right.
Ward expectation. Cam Ward's expectations are a lot more rigorous than Tyler Shaw.
I agree. So it's in a way, it's fake it till you make it. That's how they're going.
That's what they're doing. I mean, they've got to say something. You can't turn around and go, we don't know who our guy is. You want to go into your preseason going, that's our guy. I don't know who the rest of their room looks like. If truth be told, they've not re-signed. I've just had a quick snoop about Cam Jordan. It also said that they have not re-signed Taysom Hill, but Taysom Hill was always a gadget player. He was never going to be the number one guy and hold down the spot for more than a season. He's just not who he is. So I don't really see anything from them in the sense of, that's what I mean about their offensive identity, that I don't think they know truly what they want to do.
I can rock with that. And again, Saints fans, Olave, good receiver, not great. Well, AJ, he was all pro. You know, he was all pro. It's like, who gives a fuck? Second all pro.
Fair play to him, and that's an absolutely fantastic. But can you do it again?
Can you do it again? Can you stay healthy?
Stay in that fucking. You've arrived. Well done. He's arrived. Credit to him. He's got the Pro Bowl. But it's the next step. It's the consistency. So JSN. You know, last year, the year before that, who was JSN 2 years ago?
Exactly. Matter of fact,
that's my point. So, and that's not to discredit. Sometimes it takes players a couple of years to emerge, right? And that's absolutely fine. But you've arrived. You've broken down the door. You got to stay in the fucking house.
You got to stay in the house. And what's going to happen now that if you're going to be that X, people are going to double. They're going to double team and game plan. That's like you said, Slick. What separates the elite players from the good and the very good, because Mike Evans, you had the game plan for him, and yet he would still prevail with the Bucs. Chris Olave, you don't know that yet.
That kind of production, okay. I mean, the 9 touchdowns is pretty impressive, but the yardage, I would call that a Mike Evans standard season. Last season?
That's what I'm saying.
1,164 yards and 9 touchdowns. That sounds like a Mike Evans year. And they always tell me that Mike Evans is dog shit. So,
well, that's why when from here on out, Slick, don't anybody who says, "Well, AJ, look at the quarterback," we tell them shut the fuck up, because when Mike Evans was going through that shit, what would they always say, Slick? Well, he was just never considered the top tier wide receiver. But when we use the excuse of who's throwing the ball, well, that doesn't mean anything. If he's so good, he would be able to prevail. So Chris Olave, suck it up. If you're that guy, like we say, if they say Slick, then he will prevail. But again, he's got to stay healthy. The best ability is availability. And like you said, Jordan, they're doing a lot of overhype. Well, Jordan Tyson, I get it. He's a stellar player in college, Slick, but We don't know if that will translate over to the NFL. We don't know that. So you're banking a lot on him, thrusting him into it. Because again, God forbid, and knock on wood, I hope Olave can stay healthy. But what happens if Olave has to miss overall between 5 to 7 games, Slick? Now you're asking a rookie to go out there and make something happen with an offense, like you said, that we don't know who has an identity. Like I asked a lot of Saints fans, do they even know who Kellen Moore is as a coach? Because Slick, he's a better coordinator than he is a head coach.
I mean, he's already. I think at the moment you could say that, but the fact that he had a season where he kind of dug the Saints out of a hole, I would say that he's an emerging head coach. There's more. I need to see more because he's got 1 year under his belt. He is clearly not bad at this point. So if someone had to give me a grade of where he's at, I'd say he's a C+ as a coach at the moment. I think there's more to see from him, and I was hoping that the Buccaneers would eye him up as a head coach when we were going through this whole situation of what we were going to do. You know, we were going to extend Liam Cohen. We were going to bring Liam Cohen in instead. That kind of thing. He was kind of one of those guys I was kind of interested in. So the proof will be, what can you do year 2? Because now your fingerprints are more every year. Your fingerprints or your DNA is more on that team, because like a lot of people turn around and say that Coach Gruden won a Super Bowl with
Dungy's team.
Defensively, for the most part, that is very true. Offensively, it was it was different. Like we all know that it was different, right?
Oh, it was much different. He switched things around.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest things is it's hard to say that when the year between them the time between them is less than a full 12 months. So now you're in year 2. That's when Gruden's fingerprints went on a bit more because you're drafting players, you're bringing in your agents. No one goes into a team that's winning and just fires fucking everybody and starts from scratch. You don't do that. You're moving pieces around and you're trying to get hold of pieces and things like that. That's what tends to happen. That's why by the time you got to 2005, that was completely Dungy's team. Not Dungy's team, sorry. That was
Gruden's team, yes.
Gruden's team. You can't argue it because his DNA was all over it.
Agreed. And also he got the two playoffs appearances after that. So yes, I agree with you. The offense was completely different. But this is why I still think that the Saints organization is still at least 2 years away. It's going to take them time, Slick. Like I'm trying to explain to Saints fans, it's going to take time for you to replace a Demario Davis. That's basically like their Levante David. You don't just dismiss a guy of that caliber. What's up?
Did they bring?
They didn't bring anybody that is sufficient to handle Demario Davis. I truly think, Slick, that if I am any offense, I'm going to attack the Saints linebacking core. They are what the Bucs were last year. We know, okay, if Levante's not, let's just not throw it where Levante is, and we're going to take care of business. And again, Chase Young is your only pass rusher. And again, I'd say he's at this point in his career, like he's between an average to above average pass rusher. But then you got to remember, Kool-Aid can do something. Okay, maybe. But like you said, Slick, it's going to take long. It's going to take a minute for this offense to click. You said we want football 101, everybody. It takes longer for offenses to develop. And we're not talking 1 to 6 weeks. No, Slick can attest to this, and other coaches and people who've coached the game, I've coached it. Sometimes that shit can take to damn near the end of the season until a light bulb hits. Okay, guys, that's why you'll see certain offenses start clicking around week 14, and you're like, damn, where did this come from? It's because everybody got on the same page. Slick made a prime example. Brad Johnson did not get on the same page with Gruden until damn near the end of the season on the Super Bowl run, because Gruden was a completely different type of coach. He was a sophisticated, complex, offensive minded guy. Like he'll confuse the shit out of you with plays that you got to remember, like sluggo seams and 34 triple X ups the third power and shit like that. You have to understand it takes time for your offense, especially depending on an offensive minded kind of coach. So Saints fans, it's nice to dream. That's cool, but just don't be shocked. Also, Slick, when people got film on Tyler's show now, it's like, okay, we have film now.
We all know that's he was a guy who replaced mid-season. He got hot. Credit to him. Did a great job of what he was put in front of him. But at the same time, eventually he will get worked out. And that's when you're going to know if he survives if he goes through this year and he has just a solid season, 3,000 plus yards, let's say in the realm of 20 touchdowns and under 10 like a 50-50, half the amount of whatever touchdowns he's got, half the amount of interceptions, then you can turn around and say that's a really good season. He's putting together a good season. But until then, the jury's out. I'm not going to turn around. You can't. This is a hopeful thing. You know, when you have a player that gets an opportunity to start, like a running back, for example, and running backs the star running back gets injured, the young running back comes in and he has a great season, and you're hopeful. Ronald Jones, when he finally took the lead, we got our guy. It didn't work out. Yeah. Who did we have? Rashad White. Rashad White replaces him in Germany. We're all screaming for him to replace him, right? I remember because me and you were talking about it. We're like, we want him. Get Rashad White, and White's the better back. White had that big game in Germany and eventually became the starter, and then he fizzled out. Now we're on a Bucky Irvin. Bucky Irvin emerged in the early part of the season. We're all banging on the door. Please, please, please come in. I'm not saying the jury's out on it yet. What I'm saying is you need to show it the next year. Last year he got banged up. He had some issues with his health. That kind of subsided with why the Buccaneers weren't so good. Also, the fact that we had a revolving door at the guard position and the tackles and the line got shuffled around. They're excuses, but they're also reasons. Now we want to see him step up and go, I'm going to continue to be that back.
Exactly. We want you to continue to be that back. Now, again, for you Saints fan base, now, Slick, this is the things that I have to deal with. Now, if you guys haven't seen it, go to my TikTok, AJ Turnup, AJ_Turnup, my show, AKA What's a Hitch. This is what I have to deal with sometimes, my man. Take a load of this.
Hold on, we got us AJ, bro. I ain't talking to you, bro. Real talk, man. You ain't saying shit of value right now. You emotional as hell, bro. Real talk. And that's a bad character trait for a grown man, bro.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Who is your defensive coordinator?
Wow. Now, I'm the emotional one.
Which team did he support?
He's a Saints fan. So I ask a simple question. Now, as you can see, Slick, this is how you can tell the difference between emotional people and true people who know the game. The first thing he does is come out attacking my character, not talking about football. I ask a football question, yet he can't tell me that Brandon Staley is his defensive coordinator. Make it make sense. This is what we deal with.
Another thing that kind of proves that's wrong. Bruce Arians, emotional. Tom Brady, emotional. Peyton Manning, emotional. Emotional people just means they emote. That's all it means. And sometimes it's a bit much. Sometimes it's anger, but emotion is emotion, right? Some people wear their emotions on the sleeve. Some people are Coach Bowles, steel face, doesn't do anything. What's the biggest criticism of Coach Bowles is he shows no fucking emotion. He's like a fucking robot.
Yep.
Much coach football.
Yep. And even when he does show emotion, it's bland. It's like this. Yeah. And you'd be like, there's not enough. But yes. But again, the whole point is for you, some of you lame ass Saints fans out there, you need to go get your boy because that was a bad look. Now, if I'm someone who's never heard of football and I see that fan base, I know, okay, that's not the team I want to go for. So that's what I'd be dealing with sometimes on the occasion. Slick, just silly ass. Again, Saints, you're not there yet. And this guy literally tried to say the Saints are going to have 11 wins. No, sir. 11 wins from 6. Now, I say at best 7 wins because I saw their schedule, Slick. It's not happening. It's a lot of things that's going their way where the way the schedule is, they're playing certain teams just like the Bucs will. There are certain teams, if they played them early, you'd have a shot. But when you play certain teams like Baltimore is not a team Slick that I don't want to play after early October. The Rams is a team that I don't want to play after September.
You don't want to play playoff hopeful teams in November because they're trying to get their momentum. They're trying to get themselves ready for playoff time. You want to play those teams that are down and out, which is what we had last year, where we should have just swept the table and went, right, 12 wins, done. Everyone
exactly. So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, it's important. Panther fans, Slick, they're another one. It's funny because the Panther fan organization is still shaky about Bryce Young. Now, they have loaded up on defense. Now, that's one thing that I can say, Slick. Their defense is stacked. But again, it's not the 2015 Panthers defense. It's a good defense with a lot of bodies. Their front seven is arguably the best in the NFC South. But again, Slick, I think their defense alone could get them 6 to 7 wins. But the problem is, Slick, their offense can lose 5 to 6 games. That's why the Bucs simply like this, Slick, no bias. The Bucs have the best quarterback in the NFC South, and it's not even close. Baker Mayfield is the most established. He's the most talented. We can't even talk about the other people's ceiling, Slick, because when people say Tyler Shaw's ceiling, how? After 8 fucking games? Bryce Young has shown you he's not that guy just yet. The Falcons, you're right, Slick. I've told Falcons fans this. You know the old saying, Slick, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. You have both handicapped quarterbacks where it's actually dangerous for Tua, Slick, because, again, he's not a pocket quarterback. But if you put him in the rollout,
if you got 2 quarterbacks, like you said, you have none kind of thing, and you don't want to be in a situation where you're not sure. You don't want 2 guys going on and off the field because it just throws the momentum and it throws everything around. It's really difficult. It's like if you've got it even happens when you have 2 backs, right? When you have 2 backs, you're trying to feed both of them. One gets hot, but you promised like an even workload. It's difficult, man, because the one guy, like, maybe he's not playing bad, but he's not playing as good as the other one. But he's not playing bad. He's playing solid football. Like, he's got 3.4 carries, 3.8 carries, 3.8 yards a carry, but the other one's got 4.7, 4.2.
The other one's far more explosive.
But one's getting it done and one's more productive on 3rd down or something. Those little tiny things. When you're a player, you don't see those little tiny things. You need to be shown it, and you can't be shown it live in a fucking game. You're going to be shown it in a classroom. Oh, yeah, I get that.
Man, that's a prime example, Slick. I like that you went to the running back situation, because here's the funny thing that you mentioned, that you want to keep the hot hand in, because why? It's not only that the running back can be productive, but now he could be a decoy, Slick. Like, let's say you just said, prime example, if a running back is getting 4 yards a carry, let's say Bucky were doing that. Now, what is defense going to do, Slick? You know this. They're going to have to load the box. Oh, now we can set up for play action. Oh, now we can that play action now can.
Now you take advantage. Now you take advantage of the one high.
There it is, right, guys.
That's 2 schemes. He's got to go one way.
And great example.
You can't take both.
Right, and like you said, Slick, if you switch, let's say if the running back that you have at first was a north and south guy. But now that you have an east and west guy in, okay, now we can load the box and be aggressive, because we know that he can't be as effective. And like you said, Slick, he could be an okay guy, but that defense can adapt and adjust quickly. And now you have messed up the momentum. The same thing with Atlanta quarterbacks. Like you said, Slick, with Penix, both quarterbacks in reality, Slick, you don't want them in rollouts because they don't have the capability to stay healthy. If Penix gets hit on the edge, his knee is gone. If Tua gets hit, he's a concussion nightmare. And again, Stefanski, like you said, Slick, they got to find an identity, and the most important thing is a direction. What type of team are they going to be? And James Pierce, if he's suspended anything more than 6 games, there goes your defensive, your best primary defensive pass rusher. So the Bucs, And now we got into it, everybody. We are fans of the game first, then the Bucs. You're talking about a team now, Slick. This is why I put that Bane video out earlier. There's no excuses. For the first time, Slick, since 2020 fucking one, we have depth, my brother. We have depth. On the defensive side, you have Bane. We have Walker coming back. Then you still have Anthony Nelson. Then we got Al Shahid from the Panthers. Now we have Yaya. We have Josiah Trotter.
I wouldn't be surprised if you, by the end of the season, that the Panthers line, which you said is better than ours, arguably, that they're neck and neck.
Yes.
That's where I think it will get to.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the winner between the Panthers and the Bucs when it comes to defense is going to be in the trenches, because they don't have a Vita Vea. Well, they do, but they don't. But the real person, Slick, that can be the hero of this situation for the Bucs is Kalijah Kancey. If Kalijah plays to the potential that we see him, it's lights out, Slick, because now offensive lines, you're not going to be able to make room to double Vita Vea, and you got to stop Kancey. But also, Slick, we have fucking depth at the line now. Capehart. We signed Capehart. He is going to be a guy that can fill in. At this point, Slick, I wouldn't be surprised if we dropped Vita's carry, his percentage in the game by at least 20% or 30%, because we don't need him to be that special anymore. He's still, I think, his final prime year. But now, Slick, we have rotation where we can win with bodies. Now, I didn't get a chance to ask you, but Slick, who were on both sides of the ball? Who was your two favorite picks for this draft for the Bucs?
Bane's going to be the guy 100% that we got, right?
Yes.
We needed the pass rush, and we had the pass rusher full to us, so I'm always about that. I mean, that being said, linebacker was a position in need too, but we did kind of get free agents, so I'm not too worried. I like the wide receiver that we picked up as well, like
Ted Hurst.
Yeah, man. He's gonna be great. That boy can be grave digging.
I 100% agree, Slick. If I'm the Bucs, keep him on the outside of the X and groom him for that role just in case. Move him around, but the Z belongs to Godwin or McMillan. But that X spot, Slick, we can maneuver. We got three people who have the potential to do it. Emeka, of course, is going to be the complete X. Then you got McMillan. Now you got Hurst. And Hurst could be a fucking killer, Slick, in that red zone. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. 6'4" with a 4.42 speed. It's
they always like the small school guys, but always see that Jason Light goes after a small school guy because he loves the doggedness that you get out of those kind of guys.
Well, when's the last time he's missed on a receiver, Slick? That's one thing I will never fault Light. He doesn't miss on wide receivers. That man's ratio percentage of hitting on wide receivers is 95%.
I'm going for. I mean, we've drafted a couple like in later picks, and they've not always done too good in his early years. But since 2000, I'd say since Godwin entered the chat, I don't think he's really whiffed on anybody. I think the
he
wide
hasn't.
receiver position. I'd be interested to know who we've drafted in that time.
Well, I'll say this: even the guys that the guy Johnson, number 18, when we played the Saints, and he made that spectacular catch in the playoffs. Again, he drafts people, Slick, that does their purpose and do their service. So that's why I say on wide receivers, he doesn't miss. Tez Johnson, Slick, I think he's going to be the sneaky receiver where he gets at least 6 touchdowns, but they're going to be sneaky touchdowns. Here's why I say sneaky.
Yeah.
He's going to break and
touchdown.
Yes, he and as we see, he really knows his seam routes. So when he runs up that seam, meanwhile, you still got to account for Godwin. You got to account for Emeka. Tez is going to be wait a minute. Who got him? And he has the sneaky speed to get behind a DB. So, yeah, offense I'm not worried about, but this defense, Slick. And then here's the thing. For Josiah Trotter, I'm not looking for him to be the immediate starter. I'm going to give Savassier his last shot. until Hosea is better. I think Hosea is going to be a thumper, and he could be a guy in a sneaky blitz if you do something exotic. But my other guy, Slick, Keontae Scott, that's gonna be a bad motherfucker. Watch. Our nickel position, Slick, has not been so secure, and since you got Jacob Parrish, now you got Keontae, and then Tyke if he wants to. Slick, if
Tyke, you can roll Tyke down.
You can roll him down. Mm-hmm. You can, Slick. I would be, boy. I have so many plans for Bowles. Bowles, you have it. So this is why, Slick,
you could easily get the nickel and the safety rolled like that with each other.
Switch, yes.
Or blend in the middle where they don't know which one's which, and then one of them blitzes, and you don't know which. They can make the blitzing package really, really exotic and really, really interesting.
And Winfield will be there. So again, guys, we have an idea that, again, the Bucs on paper. Oh yeah, here's another thing that people forget, my brother Slick. The line will most likely be healthy again. If this line can stay healthy between, I'd say, 70 to even 80% of the season, Slick, we're in there. People don't realize Wirfs missed 5 games last year. Cody Mock 15, Luke Gedeke 6, Ben Bredesen 6. Graham Barton was the only sole guy. So now we're going to have that enforcer. We're going to have an advantage. So with no further ado, Slick, let's get into this schedule. Now, I want to start out with the worst case. Again, guys, we are fans of football. The most important thing now, Bucs fans, is not about the roster. The roster is actually in prime position. It's the coach. It's the coaching. And this goes for Zach Robinson too, but it goes for Bowles. I want to see Tyke moved around the entire. Yes. I like it. I like where your head is. Harif, I like it. I like where his head is. Because you could ask Keontae Slick sometimes to play a little safety. If he has the speed, he can thump you. But I'm going to go to the worst case scenario from what I looked at, Slick, because again, now, guys, this is the worst of the worst. If Bowles fucks this up, well, first of all, the dude and I have a theory. I say if the Bucs offense is promising, but the defense is promising too, but if Bowles is holding him back, he'll be gone by week 6. But Slick, I'm going to go to the worst case scenario just in case if this goes to shit. And this is with injuries. So this is the Bucs schedule, guys. This is it right here, Slick. This is my nightmare. But this means we're going to have a lot of shit to talk. We come out losing against Joe Burrow. We come out and we lay an egg against the Browns, which we shouldn't. We beat Minnesota because Kyle Murray still likes Call of Duty over football. We win against the Packers, but then we lose to Dallas, and we get on this kind of bad losing streak. Because the mid-season slump comes when it comes to bowls. After that October season, like, this would be the worst case scenario, because I just don't. I can see if this defense is an aggressive, Slick, and Zach Robinson is a dud, I could see this happening to us.
Yeah, it might not be in that exact order, but yeah, I mean, it is possible. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat. I think the best we're going to get is 11 wins.
See,
genuinely, unless we strike fire, and I'm not saying it's not impossible, but my realistic head's telling me no more than 11 because it's not in Coach Bowles' MO, never has been. But it's not impossible, right? It's not impossible. But yeah. I generally think we're looking around that 9 to 11 win. That's kind of my window.
Okay, and well, again, now
I believe that this definitely could happen.
And if this happens
in that order, we might win the Browns game, but lose the
Vikings.
The Vikings game, we might, because football's fucking fickle, right? We might lose against the Packers, but beat the Steelers.
Yeah, and again, ladies and gentlemen, if this were to happen, Bucs fans, best believe changes are going to happen, but in a dramatic way. This is still a business. If the Glazers see that their product is that bad, they're gonna blow this whole shit up. So that means more than likely Vita Vea would be gone. That means Kalijah Kancey would be gone.
I think Kalijah would be gone because Kalijah's on his last year anyway, so they'll let that
right.
go.
But if you could get somebody can give Vita, you can get a third round out of Vita. You can get a third. You can get a third or fourth.
But once you start shopping players, their value drops anyway.
This is true.
I wouldn't be surprised if they kept Vita Vea because linemen live forever. But I think there'll be a lot of middling guys. They'll keep him because he'll still probably be pound for pound one of the best players on that Buccaneers defense for sure. Kalijah Kancey's still yet to emerge. We know what he's capable of. We've seen the glimpses. We just need it to be put together for a season. The corners, yeah. I mean, I think they could probably get rid of one of the corners for sure. I think Zion McCullum's time would be done. Backers, they've all signed contracts, so that would probably stay the same going into the following year. So they wouldn't really go down that route. I think Antoine Winfield would be gone.
I agree. You can get a second out of Winfield. I think you can still get a second.
Potentially. If it depends on how bad his play is. Because if his play is really good or is just solid, then yeah, I think you probably could get something for him. But if his play's bad, and you're asking for something for him, that's when the value will go down, like it always does.
And here's another thing that's like that a lot of people, ungrateful ass fan bases out there, Baker's gone. Now, if Baker's gone, that is the ultimate rebuild because now
you ain't got no quarterback. First thing you're going to do is spend your first round pick on a quarterback, and you better hope it's a 6-win season, a 6-5 win season, because the quarterbacks that'll be available will be dog shit if you're an 8-9 team.
That's right, guys.
Not necessarily, but it's going to be difficult, right? It's going to be fucking difficult. Godwin could be gone as well from the offensive side.
Godwin will be gone. Godwin will be gone. Yes, Godwin will be gone. So do you see, guys, how if this happens, the dramatic effects that can happen? And the reason why I use Vita in that aspect, Slick, because Vita typically always has a solid season. So what if you could get Winfield and Vita? Let's say we'll give you the third, best case, we'll give you a third for Vita and a second for Winfield, because now, like you said, if Baker's gone, they could use that as leverage. Even at 6, Slick, the Bucs might have no choice but to get the best quarterback for them, so they can use that second and third to move up 2 to 3 spots to get the quarterback that they know.
It'll all come down to who they pick as their new head coach, who the head coach likes on the personnel group. Like, they might like a Chris Godwin if they're an offensive-minded coach. Obviously, the offense would probably be more intact than the defense, or unless they only have their own guys that they're interested in, so there would be a bit of shuffling around at that point.
100%.
Defensive guy, and I really hope it's not a defensive guy, because I think defense doesn't work. Defensive-minded head coaches don't seem to work because they're not as big as risk takers. They're not as defensive football is aggressive in itself, so you don't have to sell aggression. You have to sell aggression on offense. You have to go and go, this is who you're putting this person in the dirt to go and make for this play to be successful. If you don't do this play is not successful. Whereas everybody on that defense has to tackle hard. Everybody on that defense has to block shed. Everybody. They're the two fundamental skills on defense, and they're both about making contact. Wide receivers don't actually have to make that much contact. 9 times out of 10, they don't. That's why wide receivers are shit blockers 9 times out of 10.
Yes.
Because they don't need to.
No.
Right? In the run game, they just got to gum up a guy. Just be in the way, be a nuisance, and what have you. And some wide receivers like it. Slot receivers tend to like it a little bit more. Tight ends and those that are even more adept at it. But it's a fundamental skill for everyone on offense, but it's not a fundamental skill in the sense of it's always required. Whereas every single play, you're gonna need to tackle. Everyone will need to be able to make a tackle. Every run play, you're gonna need to be able to block shed.
And I like that, and I do like what K. Hurt has said.
He's been a good blocker for a wide receiver, which is what I'm saying. What I'm saying, he is a great blocker for a wide receiver. I'm just saying that wide receivers in general aren't great blockers because that's not what's required of them.
Right. It's typically your best.
It's even in the name, wide receiver. It ain't the wide blocker.
No, and I'd say your best wide receiver and blockers are usually between 5'9" to 6 foot because they're stocky enough to where they don't have to rely on just in their long arms, like Hines Ward, Steve Smith, Godwin. Those are your typical blockers because they have the size. But I want to go to what this person said here because I agree with this. I think now, Slick, this is why when I go to this schedule coming up, I think now that he has the depth, Bowles is aware that his legacy is on the line, Slick. That's the biggest thing that I'm hopeful about. But the other flip side is Zach Robinson is far more competent than sorry ass Grizzer. The Bucs will have an identity. Now, what do you know about Zach Robinson and his philosophy, Slick? If you I'm just asking as of out there, what do you know about him?
I don't know a lot, to be honest.
Okay. Well, he comes from the
you'd have to fill me in a bit more on him because
I got you, bro. I'm here for it. You know me. Offense is my shit. So he's a Sean McVay tree West Coast offense kind of guy. He likes to do a lot of wide zone runs. He likes to do rollouts. So he likes to stretch defenses horizontally. He does his pre-snap. When it comes to that, he does bootlegs, which benefits Baker. And that's why I think, Slick, just with Zach, if he could just be average, this Bucs offense would not be, if they're not top 10, even average, Slick, because of our line and how good it is in the receiving core, we could be top 10 and we would be like number 10 if he's just average. So this is why I want to go to the schedule now. And I think we are in a way, Slick, it's a blessing on how we have our schedule. So I want you to look at this. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the schedule, Slick, the first 3 games we're going to see where Bowles is with his mentality in this defense.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. You have the Bengals, Slick. They are very beatable. One, I honestly think that's a Zach Robinson kind of thing. What are you going to do to take advantage of an inferior defense? Dexter Lawrence, for a lot of people out there, guys, he's not fucking Aaron Donald or Ndamukong Suh. Is he a force? Yes. But did they forget, Slick, that they lost?
Going to take over a game.
Yeah, and Slick, did they forget that they lost Trey Hendrickson? Who's your edge rusher now? Who's your edge rusher? Who's your guy that's going to be able to stop somebody on the outside? Who is going to give Wirfs any problems, Slick? Again, they don't have this. I think this offense should at least, in my opinion, Slick, there's no reason that they don't put anything less than 27 points on the board. And if you get up early fast, we know Burrow's going to force feed Jamar Chase. We know this. And remember, Slick, their offensive line is not stable. So I predict, Slick, that this is going to be a good game for Bain. I expect Bain's Slick to get 1.5 sacks and stopping the run. I expect Canty to get a sack. So this is why I say this is good for us, Slick. This defense should take advantage, and the Bucs overall have the better team. Now, you could say Burrow's better than Baker. This is true, but again, Baker's more reliable. Baker's healthy. Burrow's going to just be coming back, Slick. It's not guaranteed that he's going to, and we just said it, Slick, this offense is going to take time to get back in process. It's not like they're going to come out smoking.
No.
So I got the Bucs winning this one, week 1, Slick. I got them winning this. Now, let's go to this game, the Browns, which I might try to go to, Brother Slick, because this is going to be a heavyweight bout between Tristan Wirfs and Myles Garrett. Now, Slick, if Myles Garrett has a game, if Wirfs beats Myles Garrett to where he gets no sacks or nothing, not even a tackle, I don't ever want to hear anybody disrespect Wirfs again, Slick. This game will prove that Wirfs is the best tackle in football by far. I don't give a shit about no Penei Sewell from Detroit. No. But again, Slick, the Browns they're in QB controversy, my brother. They don't know who their quarterback is going to be. Exactly. They have a good defense, Slick, but again, they don't have an offense. Who on offense, Slick, for the Browns, if you had to say, makes you go, shit? That's all I'm saying. So I got the Bucs winning this game. Now Minnesota, there's another thing, Slick. The Bucs don't have any back-to-back road games, so that's a blessing. Now, when it comes to Minnesota, guys, again, Kyle Murray is going to have to really get acclimated to this offense. Now, for people out there, well, AJ, look at what Kevin O'Connell did with Sam Darnold. What the fuck did he do? He got him better, but who did Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl with? Kubiak. So, and remember, Slick, last time I checked, Sam Darnold and Kyle Murray are two completely different archetype quarterbacks. Yes. One is more in the pocket, tall and stable. Meanwhile, you got a midget out there that likes to run around. So that's not – who's to say, Slick, he can get the ball to Justin Jefferson the right way without rolling out? And if he rolls out, that's where Bane comes in. Now, this game, Slick, I got Yaya and Vita actually doing something in this game. Now, Vikings do have a solid defense, Slick, but again, I think if we use the run the ball with our line the way it is, we can have an advantage. So I got the Bucs winning that game, 3-0. And remember, Slick, it's the first quarter of the season for the Bucs under Bowles is not typically our issue. We know what happens. We be looking at that fucking mid-October schedule. We like, all right, Bowles, it's October 15th now. Don't get into some bullshit because that goes to my next game, Slick, against the Packers. Did you know Micah Parsons is on the PUP list? So he can miss the first 4 weeks. So with that being said, no pass rush. Now, again, Slick, you see why I'm very optimistic about the way the schedule has benefited us. I got us winning that game. I'm not scared of Jordan Love. I'm not scared. And I think that game Bane will sack Jordan Love. So there we go. Now, Slick, this is where it gets to the shit. Dallas, as much as I want to beat them, Slick, that's a 50-50, to be honest, because we're going to be in Dallas. So I will say this, Slick. I say we lose that game. Because Bowles will drop the ball. Dak Prescott, if we don't get up early by 2 possessions, we're going to lose. So I have the Bucs dropping this game, Slick. We dropped this game with 4-1. Then people start to go, and then it's primetime game. So then it's the Bucs just they just showed their true colors. They can't win in big time games. Okay. Then I got us beating the Steelers. Nobody's fucking scared of Aaron Rodgers. Did you know, Slick, that Aaron Rodgers hates coming to Tampa?
Good.
He does not have a good record in Tampa.
He don't like the heat.
He don't like the heat, literally and figuratively.
Hold
on, I'm looking it up right now. At Tampa Bay, Aaron Rodgers is 1-3 at Tampa. Slick, 1-3 at Tampa.
Pretty fucking hell.
He is 1-3, guys. Again, Mike McCarthy. Him and Mike McCarthy don't like each other. Oh yeah, Slick. Tomlin isn't there anymore, so. Who's going to be the leader of that defense? I mean, TJ Watt and them are getting old, Slick. Hayward is getting up there in age. So what's going to happen there? So, Slick, I got the Bucs winning that game. The Steelers.
Yep.
Then when it comes to at Carolina, Slick, it's a 50-50. But let's go on a limb right now. Let's just say, Slick, we dropped that game.
Okay.
It fucking sucks, but we drop it. Now, the Falcons game at home. I do have us winning that because Bowles is going to have to fucking redeem himself after that infamous 3rd and 28.
Yeah.
So he's going to redeem himself there. Now, when it comes to this Chicago game, Slick, it's a primetime game again, but it could go either way. But overall, Slick, Ben Johnson is a better head coach than Bowles, and I feel like Bowles will drop the ball. So I say we drop that game.
Okay.
Then we play Detroit at Detroit again, which is getting on my fucking nerves. They typically have our number in the regular season, and Slick, this will be much later. in the year. If we were to play Detroit early October or September, we win. But like you said, they're going to be pushing for a playoff spot.
Yep.
I got us dropping that game as well. Back-to-back losses. And people are like, oh, man, what's up with the Bucs? They can't beat these good teams. But now, Slick, back in Tampa at home, I see us putting a Joe Jackson beating to the Panthers. Just straight up belt the ass. The offense will be in full force. The defense will get there. And that is the game, Slick, where Bane is going to be like on a big level where I expect him to get double-digit sacks that game. I see him walking away with 2.5 sacks. 2.5 sacks that game. Because Bryce Young is going to be cooked, and he's not going to know what to do. The Chargers, Slick, I got us beating them. Do you remember when people said the same shit 2 years ago around this time of the year that we couldn't beat them and they were the number one defense? The Chargers still don't have enough offensive firepower to win it in a shootout. So I got the Bucs winning that game. I'm going to try to go to the Ravens game, Slick. I got us losing to Baltimore just because I don't think we have it. Yeah, it's Baltimore. We're not familiar. So it's just one of those things, Slick, where it's a shit show.
You know what? It'll come down to how well we can deal with
Lamar.
Yeah, it'll come down to how well Lamar Jackson.
I'll say this, Slick. Our pass rush would have to be not even above average. It has to be elite that game. Because that means
I agree. I see us dropping that one too.
Yeah, I see us dropping that game. Now, in New Orleans, I'm sorry, Slick. Saints fans, you're not a fucking threat. We're gonna get a real good indication, Slick, on how they are. If they are, let's say, if they're 3 to 4 games, Slick, below 500, we're gonna put belt to ass to them. Just clapping, because by then, Slick, won't we know what Tyler Shaw is by then? That's a December game. So I got to belt the ass to them. Then I could see us possibly, this is going to be a 50-50 game, Slick.
I see us beating the Falcons.
Beating the Falcons. Okay, there it is. So I got us going to LA, and as much in my heart and soul, Slick, I want us to beat these fuckers. This is the worst fucking time to play them.
Yep. 100%.
This is the worst time. Now, do I see them putting belt to ass to us again? No, but I still see them beating us at least like by 13 points. I see us in the beginning trying to go back and forth, but I see by the late third or early fourth quarter, they pull away and we lose. So I got us losing to the Rams. The Saints, I see us beating them too, Slick. I think by then we're going to know what's up. Like, we're going to know what's up. So with that being said, Slick, I got us right now realistically 12-5.
Okay. I mean, I go win Cincinnati, win Cleveland, lose Minnesota, win Green Bay, lose Dallas, win Pittsburgh, lose Carolina, win Atlanta, lose Chicago, lose at Lions, lose at Carolina. So that'll be a 3 stump.
Okay.
Win at the Chargers, lose at Ravens, and then win everyone except for Los Angeles. Yeah, that's where I'm.
So
not too dissimilar.
It's like, again, the reason why I think for me that the 10-11 will not be possible. I honestly think, Slick, that if Bowles has got to be urgent. We can't afford to be. We're not a team, Slick, in my opinion, right now, where we are a grinded out 11-win team. We're going to have to sneak a couple of wins in, Slick, if we want to be positioned very well to get to the playoffs and play a team that we can't afford to be a team, Slick, where we got to play the first opening round, the fucking Rams or somebody of that caliber, or even San Fran. Because best believe, Slick, I got San Fran winning 12 games too, if they stay healthy. The Seahawks will be in a 10-11 win team. So, Slick, I'm with you on that. I think that's why, Slick, I say the Bucs, they can't afford to win or 10 or 11. They have to be 12 and up. Now, that is that is my favorite outcome. Now, Slick, here's where I go into the miracle outcome, and I'll get this past. Really, I can skim through this because again, we have to. This would be Slick if we were fucking perfect. If Zach Robinson has this offense top 5, and this pass rush for the Bucs defense, Slick, is above average, like if Bain gets between 8 to 11 sacks, that means Slick Kalijah Kancey more than likely will have 13 sacks. That means Yaya would have at least 7 to 8. That means the depth behind us would have between 4 to 5. That's the only outcome, in my opinion, Slick, where the Bucs will win 13 plus games. That's, and again, you see, like that's I don't as much as I love love us, Slick, I would be so happy if Bain could get between 6 to 8 sacks. 6 to 8. Just give me 6 to 8 sacks.
Yeah, because look, it's a first time. Not many guys hit double digits in their first year. Honestly, go look it up. It's not a normal thing. It's not a regular thing. Even the fucking the world touts us, game changing, generational level players when they're drafted, they don't typically get double digit sacks.
No, and that's where a lot of people, Slick, for whatever reason, they got to understand that we're not here to, again, we want hell, Slick, if Bain could get 14 sacks, I would be happy, but that's not realistic.
Oh, it was in the fucking street.
Yes. If he got that,
that's not the reality. The reality is probably going to be, if he has a really good season, it's going to be 8, between 7 and 9.
And if anything, Slick, people don't realize that's a major accomplishment for them. Typically, your average starting pass rushers when they come out their rookie year maybe get between 3 and 5, and we're happy. People can be happy with that because again, that's another thing, Slick. We can use Bain to stop the run. He's going to be a major step, to my opinion, Slick, upgrade over Hassan Reddick. So that's why I say that Bowles has got to be aggressive early, Slick, because if we can get those early games out of the way, let's say, Slick, it happens the way I do, and we're 4-0. Now, Slick, let's be real, Slick, we can afford to maybe drop 1 to 2 games early. I don't Slick, I'm going to tell you this right now, brother, and we're going to wrap this up. Do you know who I see that got the gauntlet schedule that I'm sitting back like, woo, if they could easily, Slick, they could easily be a 5-12 win team if they're not careful. The Carolina Panthers. Are you ready for their schedule, my brother?
I'm going for it. Go for it.
Opening game of the season. They got to play the Bears. Then they go on the road against the Falcons. Then they go on the road at Cleveland. Remember, Slick, this is a Cleveland defense that is better than the Panthers offense. Then they got to play Detroit. Then they got to go at Philly. Then they got to play the Bucs. Then they got to go at Green Bay. Then they play Denver. Got to go to New Orleans. Play Baltimore after that. Then they go at Tampa. Then they go to Minnesota. Then they play the Saints, the Bengals. Hey, if Burrow is healthy, they're not winning that game.
Well, it would depend on where the Bengals are in that policy.
Yeah, if Burrow to me, Slick, can get past.
If he's got a fucking sniffs chance of fucking making the playoffs, he'll be on fire.
Yep. Then they go at Pittsburgh. They go into Heinz Field. After that, they play the Seahawks. Then they play at Falcons. Slick, there's so many.
When you say it like that, I see only outside of their division. I think they'll split with us. I think they'll beat the Falcons. They'll lose one game against the Falcons. I think they'll beat the Saints both ways. And then after that, all those games feel like fucking toss-ups.
That's what I'm saying, Slick. Again, and even with the Bucs, it's not. Here's the funny thing, Slick. If Bryce doesn't, by the time we're going to get an idea of what Bryce and this Panthers team is going to be by the time they play us, October 25th. That's a lot of time left for us. Mm-hmm. So it's not even guaranteed, Slick, that they will split with us. Again, they have to win early. So the first 7 weeks, Slick, they got to be at least, they can't be under 3-4. If they're under 3-4, Slick, they're fucked. They're cooked. Because again, the team that I say that they're definitely not beating, Slick, is Detroit, Philly, Denver, Baltimore, Seahawks, and Green Bay, because they're going to be at Green Bay. So that's 6 losses right there already.
When do they play Green Bay?
At Green Bay.
When?
Oh, they play them in October 29th.
Not cold enough. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Micah Parsons will be back.
Mm-hmm.
So now, and again, they have a good defense. Mm-hmm. So remember, Slick, Bryce, to me, the only way Bryce is back is if he has 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, and under 12 interceptions. Anything less, Slick, the Panthers are going to move on, because he has to get at least 25 plus touchdowns. If he can't do that, that's what I'm saying. Their schedule in Gauntlet, Slick, is they wanted to be the NFC South Kings, right? So now they got an NFC South Kings schedule. Slick, they could they could be a miracle 11-6 win team, or a 5-12 team. They put it this way, Slick, they can't afford to get any injuries on offense. Tet McMillan, contrary to popular belief, Slick, I think Tet and Emeka are neck and neck. Here's why. If you look at their production, one was projected to be the X off the gate. Emeka wasn't projected, Slick, to be the X. He's supposed to be the second or third guy. If you look at
I think Harris just put up some really good. The Buccaneers don't have any cold weather games. The closest to a cold, you can attest to this, because you're going to try and go to that game. How cold is Baltimore in December?
Oh, it's fucking cold, bro. That's why we're not going to win.
Is it cold for a guy from a Florida boy, or is it just cold?
No, it's just cold in general. Yeah, but here's the thing. Up here, they're a little more used to it. But even at that point, especially with global warming,
that's potentially the only cold weather game that we got.
Oh yeah, that's the only cold weather game we got, and that's it. But again, Slick, we also don't have back-to-back road games, so that is a blessing for the Bucs. No back-to-back road games.
Chicago at night in November is probably going to be a bit cold, but it's not cold.
No, it's not cold. But again, Slick, that game can go either way, because remember, in my opinion, Slick, whichever coach comes out on fire, because remember, Caleb is not better than Baker. Baker is the better quarterback. So I honestly think, Slick, whatever defense shows up that night on Chicago and the Bucs, that's who's going to win. Now, we're going to get an idea of what our defense is going to be like by November.
True.
So we should be all right. And if you come back to the States and you want to go to a game again, let me know.
I am in the States, but I'm there for preseason, unfortunately. I already booked my flights.
Oh, when in preseason?
Kansas City.
Oh, August 20. Oh, okay. You the end of the summer kind of guy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we booked it, and I wasn't too pleased, but the wife wanted to book it, so I made her happy and booked it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
In this country, you can't take your children out of school. You'll get fined.
Oh, okay. So damn.
When I met with you, not last time, but the time before, when we got back to England, we were fined about $500.
Oh, wow.
For taking the kids out of school.
Oh, yeah. So they love y'all. Y'all love education over there.
And that fine doubles if you do it again in 4 years. So we have to wait so we had to go during the summer holidays when the kids are off school.
Damn, man.
This is why we're there for August rather than going in the fall.
I can dig it. Well, before I let you go, I want to give you another fan base dud of the week, because again, Slick, this is why I need you to get back on my lives and go watch. Guys, I need y'all to go to TikTok, AJ_Turnup. I will be live tomorrow, Tuesday night, around probably 7, and you can watch me turn into Chef AJ and cook these motherfuckers. So listen to this, Slick, and just get a good laugh before you get off.
3.5. I can't remember. 4.5 sacks last year. In 2024, he had 7. 2023, 5.5. 2022, 6.5.
Over 17 games?
Yes.
That's not shit.
Oh, buddy. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Hold on, buddy.
I want you to see AJ.
Nobody else
AJ, this is the thing.
Hold
AJ,
on. No, stop, buddy. What is a nose tackle assignment?
No, listen to me. I
Stop
understand what
talking,
you're
guys.
saying.
Hold on, buddy. No, buddy. What is a nose tackle's assignment?
Nose tackle assignment is to stop the run and hold up blocks. Actually,
So
the running back can run.
so then, what you just said was minute.
No, what you're saying is minute. You tell
No,
me
it's not.
he did so
Bruh,
well
that's
with
not
sex.
his-
He
buddy,
didn't do
it's
so
not
well
his
with
job.
sex.
But if you would.
Now, you know, Slick, maybe America needs to adapt fining people when their children leave school, because apparently that individual, Slick, he's on the short bus, or this is why some children shouldn't be left behind, but the parents need to come to school with them. Now, Slick, did you just hear what he said? Now, he literally got the definition down. We were talking about Vita Vea. He was saying Vita Vea is not as good as Hayward because he can't get after. He's not a pass rusher. I said, well, you do realize Vita Vea is a nose tackle. Well, you know, nose tackles can get after the quarter. They're supposed to get after the quarterback. Now, you just heard me ask him the definition, Slick, and he was. Now, why did he just again? That's just being dumb. Like again, now I didn't catch this part, but Slick, I told him. I said, so with that logic, Slick, Vince Wilfork wasn't shit. Nagata wasn't shit. Because did you know, Slick, Vita Vea has more sacks than Vince Wilfork?
Yes, I do. Because he's probably, and I will say this, he'll probably end up as the greatest nose tackle that plays football at the moment. I think he is. I think he's the best. He will end up retiring as probably the greatest nose tackle of all time when he retires. Could someone take it from him? Just from a pure pass rushing point of view, there has never been a nose tackle who's done what he's done and was consistent in the run game as well.
But Slick, but apparently though, because he doesn't get after the quarterback like Hayward, even though Slick, Hayward moves around and he plays a lot. He doesn't play the zero a lot. He doesn't play the two a lot.
Let's put a bit of football vernacular into this, because I know you like to do that.
Yes.
Where does the nose typically in a forefront? Where does the nose typically go?
Typically goes at the 2.
Yes. Right. So he's between, in theory, a guard
and a center.
And a center, who will on run plays do what?
Stuff him and go for that's his job. He's a big body guy. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes. And then in the pass, they will pod together to make sure that he doesn't to give the quarterback the thing. The free tech on the other side is one-on-one with the guard. He does have the tackle next to him. However, that tackle is thinking about your edge rusher or your end. So when you come down to it, you are isolating a one-on-one versus another one-on-one, and then on the other side, you got a 2-on-1 and then a 1-on-1. That's how the front works. Now, it gets even more exciting when you put him in a free front. He's now playing zero. He's either shaded or he's up on the center, which means he can be double teamed by either 2 guys either side of him at any point in time, and it will be a different guy potentially each time. It'll be center and him, center and that guy, center and that guy. And their job in the run game is when you double somebody in the run game, one is there to allow the other one to get a cleaner block, right? They're not just trying to push him back. One's trying to get to the second level. So what he does is he pushes the guy into the guy that's supposed to get the nice base block. He gets his nice base block, and then he scrapes off of the nose tackle to go and find the linebacker so he doesn't fill that hole. Because now you've got 2 guys going from one side into one guy, which is creating a bigger window. So you now need to close that window so you peel off. They don't just go if you have 2 guys just blocking one guy and they don't go and look at the second level, it's not going to be pretty. Because that linebacker is just going to play reverse running back, and he's going to come straight down. Sorry, someone's asking me about soccer. I don't know nothing about no damn soccer.
Well, either way, guys, you see how we're giving you football one-on-one answers. Again, we can entertain. That's what we love to do, but we're here to educate as well. So that individual, if you want to come to school, we're here to help you because we do care. We care about the children. We care about people getting an education because, again, you can't be running around saying dumb shit. And then I honestly believe, Slick, in my whole heart, when I said the minute phrase, he didn't know what that meant. That's why he did the elementary. No, you're the one being that. Like, some people I got to realize, if you don't know it, that's okay. But with that being said, to answer Sports Talks Florida's guy, we could finish either at an abysmal 6-11, or we can finish at a good, productive 12-5. That's my thing. So it just depends. Slick, your last thoughts?
It's coming down to Bowles, man. It's coming down to Bowles, because Bowles has got to field a defense that's better than last year. He has to. Like, if he doesn't, it's over. It's a wrap. It's probably going to be the same season as you've seen every year. It could get worse. It could get worse. And the problem is, if it goes bad, I'd rather us have a shit year than have a great year, a middling year. For the reason being is they might try and keep him around for another fucking year. But if he has a 6-win season, he's fucking out the door.
I agree, bro.
An 8-win season, they may go, see what it looks like another year. We'll spin this dial again. And Bucs fans will be like, we're fucking sick of this. A bit like how Rams fans felt about fucking Fisher. They were sick of going 8-8.
See, that's why I say, Slick, 10-11 ain't gonna cut it, because, like you said, we're not gonna want that, because then we don't want any confusion. Bucs, the Glazers are gonna want to know, okay, is Bowles turned the corner, or is this a Zach Robinson led team now? So, guys, buckle up. Again, we're gonna be here to talk. We're not done with this, and we're gonna have more outcomes. And then the next one, I will further break down why, Slick, the Zach Robinson scheme can work, and what I would do, in my opinion, to add some wrinkles. And Slick, I want you to do this too. Look at the Bucs defensive roster, and you tell us, with your expertise, what would you like to see out there when it comes to the scheme and the players and what you want. So please do that. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for tuning in to Bucs Report, The Aftermath. Again, hit that subscribe button, where we're here to entertain and educate. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Then you need to join us on TikTok, AJ Turnup, a.k.a. What's a Hitch. With that being said, we got this. Take care of yourself, Slick. Go Bucs. Bowles, don't fuck it up. All right, big dog.
All right, man. I'll catch you soon. Okay, guys, that is the end of the show. I appreciate everyone tuning in, commenting. We love it when we get the comments, because it allows us to give a little bit more content and really engage with you guys. We are probably going to get back to bringing guys on here, like, so they can actually talk in person or wherever they're from. So that's something that we want to do again. It can get a little bit ranty at times. So, you know, as you can see, when you have multiple people speaking and multiple different ideas, it can get a little bit messy. But it's something we want to do again, because we want to let our compatriots and our guys who persevere and watch us, all 41 of you right now, to come on and say your piece occasionally, because this is supposed to be like football therapy, right? We talk what's on our mind and we have a good time. But on that note, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs! And I'll see you soon.